Hey, what's up guys? So we're going to be casting this game between YGOs here in the blue at 1459 versus Un Legende here in the red at 1442. So our player in the red did go first. He decided to end his turn without doing anything. So that could reveal that he had a Gores, and it did show that he did have a Gores. So keep that in mind. If your opponent ever ends their turn with just, 6 cards in their hand, it can reveal that they either have a Tragodia or a Gores. I mean, sometimes, yes, they can have a bad hand. But, so our player in the red looks like he's going to be playing Chaos Dragons, and he's playing a different variant. Looks like he's playing double Dark Flare Dragon. And I've seen this a little bit last week, because the reason why people do like Dark Flare Dragon in Dragons, generally, I wasn't too much of a fan of this card. However, it enables you to exceed for level 5s if you need to make a rank 5. And sometimes that is important to go for a Adrius in order to get rid of the Dark World field spell card, because that 3000 graph is just too hard to get over sometimes. And our player in the blue had a Thunder King, so he might be playing something anti-meta. So in main phase 2, our player is going to remove the Dark Flare Dragon, and he's going to activate the effect to get back a Light Pulsar Dragon. Oh, and that's going to get affected by our player in the blue. So if our player in the blue can get a Dark Hole out of this, it'll be very good. So he's going to go for a Tour Guide, and he's going to go for the effect, and it's going to be successfully activated, just because Chaos Dragons generally don't really play much stuff that can stop you other than effect failure. But having that effect is going to help out quite a bit. Looks like our player is going to go for an Exceed. Let's see if he makes Acid Golem, because that is the only thing that's going to be able to attack over both of those. And I think Acid Golem is a good option sometimes, and he is going to go for an Acid Golem, and I think he's going to attack Rise Darkness Metal, which would be the best option there, because, Gore's not going to be able to do, activate any effects. But our player in the blue does have kind of low life. He's at 4800, so he will probably detach at least one next turn from Acid Golem. Generally, that's how Acid Golem works. You'll detach one, just because during each one of your standby phases, you have to detach one material or take 2000 damage. And if there's no materials, he can't attack. And while he's on the field, you cannot special summon, so I don't know what our player in the blue is playing yet, but I just haven't casted a duel of a dragon deck that was doing the double Dark Flare Dragon, because I think that it can be viable. Maybe if you have problems against Dark Worlds, it is a good option, just because Adrius allows you to pop that field spell. Generally, you have Lila to do that, but some people just feel like there's not ever enough back row destruction, and it does help out quite a bit. So our player in the red looks like he's going to go a little bit defensive there. That could be a face down Raikou. Let's see if our player detaches. Yeah, that's generally what happens. They'll detach one, and then they'll start taking the damage. I'm not sure why Gores is also in attack mode. I personally would have moved to defense mode. I mean, it's 200 less in the defense position, but looks like our player is going to be able to capitalize off of that, off of the set. So our player in the red needs to make a move quite soon. He's going to summon Lila and most likely just pop the back row, ending his turn. Our player in the blue probably will bounce it back and go for 3000 attack. Let's see if that is what happens. So he's going to pop the back row, and it was a Torrential Tribute. So our player in the blue did have the option to get rid of his own Acid Golem if he wanted to, but I personally don't think it's worth it. I think it's better just to keep it there, because, at any moment the Chaos Dragon player can always just, oh, he's going to go for Dark Armed. Okay. Well, that can be problematic now. So he's going to banish, and an effect failure is activated to keep that Acid Golem alive. So that is very important. Keeping that Acid Golem is really going to keep him in the game. And you can just see how good Acid Golem can be against Chaos Dragons, because they just don't have, a bigger monster to run over it. And that's kind of how they rely on beating people down really fast. It's just getting out a bunch of big beaters. And as you can see, our player in the blue is just going to go, and he's going to, and this is, okay, I was going to say, he won't get the effect of the Tour Guide, because while Acid Golem is face up on the field, he cannot special summon. But the thing is, okay, he does have a back row, because I'm going to say, he is kind of low at life, and he will have to take the damage next turn. And he needs to affect its effect failure. And a player in the blue is probably going to summon a Grand Mole here and bounce it back and try to swing for game. If he can. Oh, he's going to go for a Reaper attack. He's in a bad position right now. He's going to attack with a Reaper face down. Okay, and he's going to destroy a tour guide. Interesting choice. Because our player on the red is probably thinking, I can beat my opponent by simply getting rid of, letting my opponent die by having Acid Golem kill himself. So, I don't understand why he attacked with Reaper. I personally would have attacked for tour guide to try to get a discard in, if you really wanted to get that 3,000 damage in. So he's asking if the summon is okay of that card. If it does go through, let's see if he has maybe like a D Prison or a Mirror Force. That's what he needs right now. Oh, and it doesn't look like he has that. Either way, Acid Golem would have been problematic because he would have to detach and Acid Golem couldn't attack. And he had Honest anyways, and so for a moment there, it did look like our player in the blue was going to win, simply just because he has that 3,000 beater and he had that double Valor in his hand, which really helped out. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.